Alright, here we go. Special cup on the ROM hack of Mario Kart Double Dash Extended. Now I know y'all probably wondering, like, well, we've been watching these and listening to just the game volume this whole time, or if this is the first video you came to, it's probably gonna be weird going to the other ones. Plus this one is sped up, so y'all probably wondering, like, okay, what's going on? So I ran into a glitch in this ROM hack, which you'll see it here in a second. I got to a track that did not allow me to drive, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I ended up doing this track that you're watching right now, which is sped up. I ended up doing this track probably about 7 or 8 times, trying to figure out what's going on with the other track. I had went to time trials and selected that course by itself, and it worked perfectly fine. But as you'll see here in a second, it did this to me every time I was in the circuit and I got to that course. So it took me some time to figure out what to do, and here in a moment you'll see exactly what happens and what I did to prevent it from happening, so that way I can actually finish playing the tracks in order against the CPU in one video like I have the rest of them. So you'll see it here in a second. Just past the finish line, first place. Of course, when you win a certain place, you are in a certain position when the next race starts. And as you saw, I got hit by the truck before the countdown ended. And for some reason, the ROM hack glitches out. As you can see, I could still pause it, but I couldn't drive at all. So I realized that, okay, it's stopping me from using the controller. Why is it doing that? And I had to figure out why. This second time, I meant to wait for the CPU to pass the finish line, and then I passed it, but I accidentally drove into the water, and it put me over the finish line, which I got first place again. And as you can see this time, it didn't make me flip out, but the characters are reacting to getting hit, and they don't stop the animation. And if you look on the mini-map, my icon is continuously spinning. So I sit here and wait for the CPU, they knock me off to the side, I still can't move, so I start over. Now, I intentionally, not lose the race, but I intentionally don't get first place, and then in the next course, it places me on the side so I don't get hit by the truck, and it allows me to finish the race. And right here, after a bunch of retries, I thought the ROM was gonna freeze on me completely, but it just like froze for a second and caught up with itself. So now I can shut up and y'all can see this next track.